All right, let's jump right into it. If you're an investor in Nepal stock market, you know the IPO scene is always buzzing. So today, we're going to do a quick and clear update on 3 major IPOs everyone is talking about. We've got a result that's just around the corner, an application that's closing super fast, and a brand new opportunity just popping up on the horizon.
But before we get into the details, I gotta ask you, how's your luck been with IPOs lately? Seriously, in Nepal, getting an allotment can feel more like winning the lottery than making a straightforward investment, right? Let's see if the odds might just be in your favor this time around.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the one everyone's been waiting for, BHUJUNG hydropower. If you were one of the millions, and I do mean millions, who applied, you're probably on the edge of your seat. So let's get right to it.
The demand for this thing was just unbelievable. Check this out. A staggering 2.66 million people applied for this IPO. That is a record-breaking number for this year, and it just goes to show you how much excitement was packed behind this issue.
But here's the catch. Out of those millions of people, only 83,000 lucky investors are actually going to get the 10-share allotment. It's that classic story of massive demand meeting a very, very limited supply.
And you know, this chart really shows the tough reality of those numbers. We're talking about over 2.5 million applicants. That's more than 96% of everyone who tried who will unfortunately walk away empty-handed. The odds were just incredibly steep on this one.
So, the most important part, the date. Go ahead and mark your calendars because the allotment result for BHUJUNG hydropower is confirmed for this coming Tuesday, Mog 27. We don't have an exact time just yet, but it will most likely be sometime in the morning.
Now, for those lucky 83,000 winners, what's next? Well, the stock is projected to open for trading somewhere between 90 and 270 rupees. And you know, based on the current market buzz for hydropower stocks, that could easily mean a potential profit of around 400 to 600 rupees per share. Not bad at all.
All right, let's shift gears. We're moving from an application that's already closed to one that is still open. But you really have to be quick because the clock is seriously ticking on the Hotel Forest Inn IPO.
So the IPO window for this one opened up on March 22 and it slammed shut on March 26. That is just around the corner, people. So if you're thinking about applying, you really need to get on it fast.
And just like we saw with BHUJUNG, the demand is already through the roof. Just a couple of days into the application period, the issue was already oversubscribed by nearly 5 times. So yeah, this absolutely means it's going to be another lottery.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. If you look at the company's fundamentals, you see a couple of red flags. Its earnings per share is negative, which basically means it's losing money right now. And on top of that, its net worth per share is below the 100 rupee face value. And yet, despite these weaker financials, the market is still projecting a potential profit similar to BHUJUNG's. It's a fascinating situation that really highlights the speculative side of our IPO market, where sometimes the hype can be a bigger deal than the fundamentals.
So, we've covered the past and the present. Now let's look to the future. A brand new company has just officially thrown its hat into the IPO ring, giving all of us investors something new to keep an eye on.
The company is IPO Resort and Spa. They've formally submitted their application to the Securities Board of Nepal, or CBON, to issue shares to the public. This adds another interesting player to that very popular hotel and tourism sector.
So what do we know so far? Let's break it down. The issue size is just over 16 crore rupees, with about 1.2 to 1.3 million shares expected to be available for the general public. What that means for us is that somewhere between 120,000 and 130,000 people will probably get allotted shares. The whole thing is being managed by Prabhu Capital. Definitely one to keep on your radar.
All right, that was a whirlwind tour of the past, present, and future of the IPO market. Let's pull all those key dates and details together one last time so we're all on the same page.
So here's your final takeaway. For BHUJUNG hydropower, the big day is the result on Mog 27. For Hotel Forest Inn, the crucial date is the deadline to apply, Mog 26. And for IPO Resort, it's currently waiting for approval, so we're just watching for a date to be announced. 3 different companies, 3 very different stages. So all of this brings us to the final big question. With a result coming, a deadline looming, and a new opportunity in the pipeline, what's your next move? Are you holding your breath, getting your application in, or just waiting for the next big thing? Let me know what you're thinking. Thanks for tuning in.